Right, I've included my audio.
Good evening, guys, and welcome to the Tier 2 stream. We have just gone live for round 16 of the European SRL Xbox One F2 League. We are 18 drivers turning out today, so this should be a good race. Tonight is Japan or Suzuka, the legendary track as we know it. 80 corner circuit with some interesting corners and curves. The air sections at sector 1, and then some challenging corners for sector 2 and 3, so this should shade up for a really good race. Championship leader Thomas and B is not racing tonight, so we might see a different winner once again. Last time we saw Thomas winning, so we might see a new guy, maybe Fred or Teleo or Ben. Got some new faces as well, reserves who are replacing some full-time drivers. Anyways, I think it's time to introduce my co-commentator for tonight. As always, it's Dan Ghazal. How you doing, man?
I'm doing fine, thank you very much. Yeah, I was just about to say Thomas could have wrapped up the championship if he'd showed up and won, but it seems that he's not, so it's going to have to go to the next round, which is USA, I do believe.
Indeed. And as it is Japan, one of my favorite tracks at least, Dan, what are your thoughts on this track? In terms of overtaking and strategy, what would we expect to see tonight?
We do expect to see a lot of overtakes, especially coming in at the hairpin, and maybe down into 130R, of course, because that's obviously where Schumacher and Alonso went wheel to wheel. There's not really many opportunities at this track, strangely enough. There's only maybe 3. So yeah. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's I must agree there. Dan, you mentioned earlier before we started the stream, hairpin at turn 11 might be a possibility, or turn 10 and 11. Exit is 11. I also think we might see something at third yard, right after the spoon curve, the long straight. I hope we see some slipstream at least. That would be nice that we could see some slipstream, play some factor into some great overtaking. Meanwhile, in the beginning, we just set the fastest lap, the first driver to set a lap of 1:29.9. What kind of lap times can we expect tonight, Dan? I'm not that certain. That's why I'm asking.
To be honest, I'm not too certain as well. Japan's a very unpredictable track, which changes all the time. You're going to have to fill me in all the times, because my timing screen has glitched out and I've got no timing at all. No detail or anything.
Oh. Well, I hope it returns for the race. I'm of course gonna update. You can't see any of the timings, can you?
No, nothing. I can only switch between cameras and drivers, and I don't even know which drivers I'm viewing.
Oh, okay. Well, that's bollocks. John Tolniger just set the fastest lap in the Force India with a 1:29. He's currently coming into Degna 2 now behind Fredster, set in P2.
There's a spin.
Oh.
It seems the 2 McLaren boys have made contact with each other. I just viewed one of the McLarens and he had his teammates spinning out to the infield.
Oh, there must be Emerald in 7P11. I've no idea what's happened there. but that didn't look good. And ST Leo has left the session. But yeah,
What happened?
yeah, go on then.
I was just saying, I don't know what happened. I just viewed it, and it looked like I might have made contact with him because he had the spinning off into the infield.
Well, multiple drivers leaving the session. Sorry guys, I'm just gonna invite those back. Just a sec.
Yeah, it's quite interesting that everyone keeps leaving. We had that issue before. I don't know who that is, but it's a Mercedes running extremely wide coming towards the hairpin. He's got a lot of dirt on his tyres, which might compromise him coming into the next corner of the spoon curve.
There must be ninjas. That's yeah, P6. Sorry for the break there. Just invited some drivers back, but yeah, that's ninjas that we're following out of 30 yard now, or coming into the long straight, back straight, I'm gonna call it. He's not on his lap. He's 4 seconds down, so maybe he's coming for a hot lap, or he's just coming into the pits. Says he's coming to the pits. LK91, the reserve. You haven't heard of him, Dan, but he's currently set in P1 with a 128.9. That's a really impressive lap time by the debut of the French driver.
Did you say a 120.9?
128.9.
A 128.9. That is an impressive lap, especially for someone on their debut. I mean, we could be seeing a potential race winner here, and or at least a podium. Of course, we do want interesting races for you. Last race was very interesting, of course. But yeah, you've got to think about the tyres here, Monday. You've got to think about the tyres.
Yeah.
The tyres, what they do is, round this track, because you've got a lot of high-speed corners, they wear out so quickly, which can really cause issues. So theoretically, you only want to go on 2 or 3 quick laps, maybe, to keep the most in your tyres for the race. You could be looking at 2 stops. Toro Rosso locking up and hitting the barriers through Degner 2 there. I don't know who that was. He's coming up to the hairpin now, if you could tell me, Mundo.
That's onto Beacon. I'm not sure if he's finished his... I think he's retired from the session. Yeah, that looked very odd. He's currently set in P5 now, but far from the others has set their final lap times. So that's probably most likely gonna compromise his quali at the end, don't you think, Dan?
Yeah. It was a very strange thing that, unless he thought that's all he's going to get and just retired to, save the tyres and everything. But I don't know, quite strange, as we have a Red Bull coming through. A lovely shot of the first corner. That is an absolutely lovely camera.
Let me see who that is. Just for those who've just tuned in, that's probably Necruz in P11. He's coming on for his hot lap now, so if you can take us around a lap of Suzuka, then that would be great. Let's go. Coming into turn 1.
Coming into turn 1. Okay. I need to just get there. Who is it?
Red Bull driver. Now into the S's.
Yeah, it was coming through the S's, taking a quite an interesting wide line through there. That doesn't really work. I think he's ended his lap right now because he went very wide through there, and
Yeah, looks like
I'm afraid
it.
I can't take you through a lap. So we'll find someone else. We'll find some. I'll take you through.
Let's see here. And Salonika, we also, I think it's very hard to put a lap in. A lot of the guys I've just taken with that banker lap. Maybe LK91, the pole sitter. Let's see if he's actually improved on his first sector. That might be it. 33.3 sets. Let's check if that's actually a competitive sector time. 32.1 that is. Wow, he's actually improving. The Haas driver coming into out of the hairpin now. Then looks like he'll be improving his pole time.
Yeah, I think the Red Bull that we're watching is about to go on another lap. If you want to spectate him, he's coming to the casino triangle now. As they, I'll take you through a lap if you want.
Yep, let's go.
So coming down the main straight, as you can see, hitting some very high speeds. This is a very interesting first corner. You might want to brake. You might want to keep it flat out until the second. They come through, might have been a yellow flag here. As they come through the S, is really hard to get you right. You want to put at least one wheel over the curb just to kind of swing your car around. As we come to the final S, and now going towards the Degners. Of course, this is the only figure of 8 track, so they have to go under a bridge, which is really interesting. I like this layout of the track. As he comes through here, there is a yellow flag. He locks up slightly, goes a little bit wide, loses the back end massively as he goes under the bridge there. As they come towards the hairpin, a very hard corner to get right, locks up slightly as he goes round, takes an interesting line through there, coming towards Spoon Curve. As you can see, this is flat out through here. In the old car, in these new ones, you're going to have to just keep it straight, coming through Spoon and coming onto the straight towards 130R. 130R, of course, the quick left-hander, where we saw Alonso and Schumacher in the early 2000s going wheel to wheel. As it goes through 130R, totally flat out. That might be a place to watch for overtaking. Coming back to the final corner, Casino Triangle, to finish a lap of the Suzuka circuit.
Let's see what he gets. Necruz gets P9. Alright lap time, but I think Necruz has got a lot more in the bank than what he just did. Necruz, who's a driver, we often see it up at the front, so he needs to get past some cars in the race, and that will be interesting to see. We have some connection issues, unfortunately, but about that.
So yeah, it was Netcruise that we were following, actually. I've just realised. In 9th place, as you can see, IK in the Haas with a 128 has gone to pole. Is that his first ever race?
That's his first ever attendance for this tier as a reserve, so very impressive by the French driver. Puts himself up the front, 2 tenths ahead of John Selnica. Followed by Ben in P3, also very impressive. Then my favorite for tonight, at least in the race, Fred in P4. But here's your grid order, guys. So, obviously, yeah, you just saw the order. Then, what is your possible prediction for this evening's round 16? Dan?
Yeah, your mic lagged a little bit, so if you said something directed at me, I didn't really hear it, sorry.
What's your predictions for the race?
Well, definitely IK could probably... was nearly winning the race last time. Very, very impressive, but then again, it's always unpredictable here at Suzuka with there's some rain potentially, which could really muddle up people's strategies and could end up with people not winning as we come into the formation lap. IK is going to be really hyped about.
Yeah, as you said, rain is possible. It's quite cloudy, as you can see around the track. Actually, let's see what tires these guys are on. Top 10 are all on supers, no surprise there, but Mr. Gamer Samer is actually on the softs. The Vout has opted to choose super softs starting P12. Definitely a guy to look out for in this race if you can just keep it clean. Also Rampage starting on the harder compound. Also Adam Lee starting in harder compound. So an interesting strategy from the guys at the back. I hope they can make it work. It would be unfortunate if they couldn't. But yeah, the surprises of tonight so far is definitely LK91 and Ben in P3. He's improved massively since his debut at Belgium, I believe. Just great improvement, and I'm glad. I hope he can result this great quality into a podium result.
Yeah, it looked like when I was on board with Leo, it looked like Fredster was going AI, so I don't know whether there's something wrong there. But certainly this is going to be a very, very interesting race with a lot of action. I mean, to have a debut, someone on their debut setting a fastest lap from... of course, when I joined here in Belgium, I was impressed putting it in P2 or something like that.
Alright then.
But this is just something else. Then? Oh, did you lose me there?
No. Are you here, man? I can't really hear you.
Yeah, I'm
anyways,
here.
We're going on for 5 red lights. Lights are out and LK gets a decent start. Side by side with John Solnika, we have a massive side by side action at the background, but it looks like LK has got a decent turn 1 out of there. Ben gets a clean start as well. What about at the back? Fred has still in P6. Mr. Gamer Same actually lost the back end, and he's now down to P12, losing several positions because of that mistake. What about in front? We have Yet in P10. What a improvement. Starting on the soft tires. Emerald in P12 makes a mistake. Oh, Julian VP has left the session.
There's some action at the back here. SRL Bosley and Necruz are going side by side, the two Red Bulls. And Necruz, I think, gets through there on SRL Bosley. Very, very nice move coming through that hairpin there. As you see, a load of them going wide in a train, and already... Oh, an EVR Fredster's round. Fredster's round.
And that's the same with the Vout as well. The two Ferraris are out. Wow, what a disaster from Fred, but it's LK leading at the front, already pulling a gap to John Solenke with 1.5 seconds. Ben, is that can't be true, that's telling me true, a bit wrong I believe. It says, yeah, there we go, that's the right one. 2 tenths behind. We have Bebekut in P4, lovely shot there of the top 5. Mr. Gamer Sim actually makes some improvement on Adam Lee, I believe, up to P9, and Yeti also up to P8 now. So winners so far. Oh, we have some side-by-side action going on with the Red Bulls. I think I'm not sure if Necruz was behind and tried to make a move on Bosley, but nevertheless Bosley has made it through to P6. What about Emerald? Let's just look really hard on those heavy fuel, so Emerald actually has got a front left end plate damage. That's gonna compromise his downforce, especially at Degner. But he's actually right behind Adam Lee, so maybe he can still make something out of this. Meanwhile, where's Necruz actually? Necruz is down to P12. Not sure if he made a mistake there then.
Yeah, I'm wondering too. I'm stunned by K's performance here. I mean, where did you find this driver? Because he is amazing.
Yeah, indeed he is. He's actually still leading, but the gap is around the same. He has the fastest lap, and John Solnik can't respond. It's actually gained 3/10 out of that lap. So yeah, what a performance by LK91. Possibly a full-time driver in the future of this tier. That would be great to see in SRL. There's something going on in the background. Necruz losing more time, I believe. Not a great start for a Red Bull driver. Emerald actually loses a place. Yeah, go on.
Seems that Mr. Gamer Samer has had a little bit of an accident. He hasn't got a front right wheel. He's out of this race.
Yeah.
I mean, K has pulled a lot of time out of the bag there. That is unbelievable. To say that amount of time.
And as you said there, Emerald just got past Ghazal. There we go. He told me to call him that. No, that's Ghazal down to P10. But yeah, LK, still surprised by him. We have actually a fight for P5 going on. Bosley is in the slipstream of the Enter Beacon. Here we go. We most likely gonna see him move here down the inside, I believe. Let's see. Here we go.
Oh, he's gonna try it. He's gonna try it. Oh, he lost the back end massively through there. But I mean, this is great. He goes for a massive dive bomb coming through there. They make slight contact. This is amazing to see from the Red Bull driver. He's definitely on a charge. I mean, after losing that third place due to a spin out, and he's let him back. I think he's let him back through.
Indeed, that's Enter Beacon down to P6. Great battle, side-by-side action. Enter Beacon actually has damage, so not great for the Terrassa driver. Interesting to see if Bosley actually can catch the Mercedes driver Webekut as they are now going into just out of sector 1 now into the Dignus. Also, Ben is actually not far away from John Solnik, so we might see a battle for the podium. And LK still maintaining that 3-second lead.
Yeah, SRL Bosley, he looks like he's catching Vapid Kut at the moment. He's definitely on a charge. I mean, this is amazing driving. He's just got no fear of overtaking. As you can see, he's already narrowing the gap down. As I don't know whether you watched the previous race Monday, but he did have a bit of a spin out and a crash on lap 1 while running in 3rd place last race, so he's definitely going to be on a charge.
Yeah, indeed, and Enter Beacon is still not out of it. He's still within the 1 second window, and indeed Bosley is catching Rapid Good, so keep an eye out of on those. Meanwhile, Adam Lee, I hope he doesn't have damage. I'm looking now. Indeed, he has damage. That is sad to see for me. Adam Lee, a driver who has the pace, but just lacks that racecraft in terms of the long game, if you get me. And now Ghazal's right behind him on the super soft tires, so we might see a move very soon for P9. But yeah, that battle for P4 and 5 are shaping up to be very nice. Bosley and Enter Beacon.
Bosley is certainly quicker than Vapid Kut at this moment in time. He's just taking a lot more risk coming through here. Oh, he stuffs it up. Him and Enter Beacon went wide. Oh, and Vapid Kut really stuffs his up as well. So that's just a free position through there. It wasn't even an argument of who was going to get into 4th place there. It was just Bosley goes wide and then Vapid Kut goes wide. I mean, this is completely amazing. Now Bosley's got to close the 7-second gap to Ben to get on the podium.
And now Enter Beacon is actually right behind us, Bosley. We might see a move. As you said, there was a mistake by Vebekut there. Very unusual to see at the hairpin. Let's see if Enter Beacon can do something about it. I don't think so. Bosley actually goes mid-defensive just to be secured, and that's gonna compromise his exit, but it's gonna do too with Enter Beacon because of that front right end plate damage. He's gonna get this, but I'm not sure if it's enough. Vebekut is still not out of it. He hasn't got damage, so I'm sure we'll see some great building of these guys later in this race. Enter Beacon still right behind Bosley.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite boring at the front. It's K is still leading, but it heats back with, of course, Enter Beacon and Bosley coming through here. Bosley just gets a much better exit, but Bosley goes slightly wide, loses the back end, goes on the grass, and Enter Beacon is just going to say, thank you very much for that.
Oh!
And, Bosley very wide through there. That is not a line you want to be taken. He's got a lot of dust on his tyres, and Vebekut might even go for a move down into here. And he makes
looks.
That was a bit of moving. That was a bit of moving under braking there. It's quite interesting. As the Magic Yeti is also getting caught up in this. I mean, he could easily take 2 positions here and move his way up into 5th if he's really careful.
Yeah, Yeti is actually in the play now, and he's on the soft tires, so Yeti is looking very promising at this stage of the season. I've seen his progress. I don't know if you have noticed, but he's actually improved a lot, and now he's in the fight for top 5, right behind Vebekut. I probably think that Vebekut should.
W making a move.
Yep, go on.
Whistle making a move on Adam Lee there. Didn't work out very well. Adam Lee with some great defending techniques there, fighting away for his position. He does not want to lose that 8th place because he knows he can be a little bit quicker, even though he's on those harder tyres. But eventually he's going to have to just give in.
Just looking at position gains, Yeti has gained 8 positions, so that's really impressive. I hope we can see him potentially challenge Weapon and Bosley, as Bosley actually gets a 3-second penalty. A lot of unusual mistakes on this track. Japan is obviously not the easiest track to do, so Yeti can possibly take advantage of that. But yeah, as you said, Vessel is actually making a move on Adam Lee, going down the inside of the hairpin, and that's job done for the Sauber driver.
Yeah, that was a very good move. Sorry for my late reply there. I was choking on my water, but that was a nice move there. I didn't really watch it, but as I said, it was only a matter of time before we got past. But Adam Lee on the harder tyre might come back at him here. I mean, do you want me to explain to the viewers about the tyres?
Yeah, sure, go on.
About how hot. I was just about to say, harder compounds have a lot less grip, but they last longer, and because they're harder, they are much quicker in a straight line. So if he is closer, you might see him gaining a lot on Whistle because of the harder tyre being good in a straight line. But through these corners here, it's not going to be very quick, as there's a yellow. Oh, and K's round. K is round.
Oh!
That is disappointing.
Made a mistake, I believe. He's not lose too much, but now it's on for the battle. I was just about to say, right after your tire analysis, that it's shaping up really to be a good race, because we have some fights going on for the lower positions in the points, and then we have a battle for top 5, and potentially a battle for P1 later in the stage of this race. So definitely stay tuned, guys, because this will be very entertaining to watch. Yeti, who's right behind Vebekut, Bosley still, but also Adam Lee, Necruz, and Leo on a 4-way scrap for P8, I believe.
Yeah, K is now diving into the pits, so I don't know whether something's wrong with his car or whether he just wants to change tyres. Massive shame there. John's also in the pits, and oh, it's very close there.
Let's see what tires he goes on. It looks like medium tires. If I just go to tires, yep, medium tires for LK. Let's see where it comes out. John Solenka. Actually, wow, that's such a gain from John Solenka. Look where he come out compared to LK. Surely that's gonna give him, the Force India driver, a huge advantage, and possibly something he can use to possibly win this race. He just got in front of that mid-pack, and LK is right behind that. He's gonna lose plenty of time, don't you think, Dan?
Yeah, he's going to lose a lot of time, you see. It's not like they're going to have blue flags or anything. He's fighting for effective position with them. As you can see, there's a massive train behind Whistle coming through the hairpin. There is a train of about
sorry
3
to
people.
interrupt.
Oh, and Necruz.
Yeah, go on.
Necruz takes advantage of that. He looked at Adam Lee and said, "Thank you very much. I'll go up your inside. You're getting held up by Whistle. I know I'm quicker than you, and I will dive it down the inside of you." As Adam Lee pushing him a little bit wide, and Tia Leo just dives through and again just says, "Cheers, mate. I'll take that position," and goes through. But that was interesting from Adam Lee there.
Yeah, wow, this is really showing up now. Necruz in the battle. Adam Lee struggling on those that front wing damage. We have some guys pitting, so I have to follow that. Babicoot coming to the pits, Bosley coming into the pits for medium tires. This looks like an easy one-stop. The guys ought to go to mediums instead of soft. Let's see where they come out. LK comes right in front of Bosley, Babbitt right behind, and Wessel also pits. So now we have some guys still yet to pit. Oh, actually we have the battle for P2, not actually net P2, but they go side by side. Yes, and Gamer Samer, but no, not Gamer Samer, sorry, John Solnika. John gets in front, so that's him up to P2.
LK is right on the back of Necruz at the moment. He might go for a move down to the hairpin. He's much quicker coming fence to the inside. Oh, contact. Slight contact there. That was interesting, but Necruz keeps the position for now.
Yep, he needs to get past ASAP. Necruz on a different tire strategy on the super stuff, so LK, if he wants to have a chance at this win, he has a lot of work to do. He needs to get past Necruz, Teleo, and then Ben for track position. This is not actually for track position, as Necruz still yet to pit, but Antibeacon actually comes into the pits. So John Solenka is gonna be the net leader of the race. Let's see if LK can get a nice run into. No, Necruz comes into the pits, so that's LK up to P6 and now P5 because of Antibeacon pitting. So next up for him is Teleo, who's still yet to pit on those mediums.
Yeah, the Magighetti's going to be happy at the moment, sitting in P2, but of course he still has to pit as Ben is now catching up behind him, and behind that is Teleo and LK catching up to Teleo through here. This has turned out to be another interesting race, of course with the spin outs and everything. And it's not really that close, apart from Ninjas and Antibeacon are fighting it out, and that's really all the action we have.
Yep, indeed. 11 laps into the race, guys, and it's definitely not over yet. Ben is right behind Yeti, not for track position, but LK might have a say in this because he's right behind Teleo. On those medium tires going to the end, would be interesting to see if he can actually catch Ben, because definitely has the pace. He showed that in quali and leading over 8 laps of this race.
Yeah, it does look like he could probably close the gap. I mean, he has closed it quite a bit. He's now catching up to Tia Leo. And look at how much speed he can carry through there, really making advantage of those curbs. And we might see a move into turn 1 through here. He's got DRS open. He's thinking about it. He's weaving. He's thinking about it. He's trying to get his proximity arrow to show up for Tia Leo. Almost to spook him. So he might go a little bit wide through there, but it hasn't worked. Tia Leo firmly sitting in a P.
As Ben is going side by side with Yeti for P2. Quite easy move, job done. That's Ben up to P2. I believe 5 seconds to catch up to John Selniger. That will be very tough.
Lovely exit. Lovely exit with K.
Yep. And he gets the move done as well, so up on this Yeti.
Yeah, next is Yeti, and I mean, if this is a podium on his debut, I'll be still really pleased with it. This is marvelous.
Also, just to note that Vepekut has lost quite some time to Bosley, and he's actually under pressure from Enter Beacon, so that would definitely help Bosley to potentially be in the top 5 positions. Yet he's still yet to pit, so he might have a play for top 5 as he actually gets a penalty. He doesn't pit yet, but I think the pit window is pretty soon, unless he wants to make a soft, super soft strategy work, which would be incredible to see of him. He would definitely be strong at the end, but there's still some time to go before that potentially happens. As Enter Beacon picks up a penalty, and that's not that good, but he's coming, putting Vepekut under pressure, coming into turn 1. Let's see, side by side going for the inside line. Looks pretty easy, Vepekut not fighting too much. And that's Enter Beacon up to P7.
Yeah, that was a lovely move through there. Extremely impressive. As LK really trying to put the pressure on here. He really wants that first place back, and you can see the way he's locking up. He's really pushing to the limit. I mean, if someone tuned in and didn't look at the timing screen and were just on board with K, they'd think it's a qualifying lap the way he's pushing.
Yeah, he's really gunning forward, and he needs to be if he wants to have a shot. The podium looks pretty secure, but he wants more on that, and I can tell the instinct that every league racer possible. I'm sure they have that. So it's gonna be a matter of time. Yeah, I think Yeti is gonna pit soon. He doesn't want to lose too much time. He's really struggling. Just look at that difference of tire, and indeed he comes into the pits. I'm gonna follow Yeti and see where he comes out compared to the other cars. And he might be on mediums or super soft. What do you think then? Or will we get in now?
I think he might go super softs. No, he's going to the mediums.
Indeed he does.
He's got to the mediums, it seems.
He does. And that's put him to P9. Possibly P10, because he's coming under pressure from Nick Cruz side by side. But he just
gets
P9.
out in front. Yeah, very impressive through there. That's what I like to see in a driver. No fear. As now LK has, I think, closed the gap between him and Ben. I mean, this is one quick driver we've got here. I mean, what do you think?
I definitely agree with you. He has the pace, but I must say that John Solniger has it too. Having a 6-second gap to Ben JP and absolutely controlling this race. John Solniger, who's full-time driver now, so he's actually gonna be able to challenge drivers such as Nick Cruz and Ben and all those guys. He seemed to be quicker than those, so I won't be surprised if we're gonna see similar future results at the end of the season. which would be very promising to see for next season if he signs up for that.
Yeah, it would be. He's a very quick driver, and of course with Thomas not being here for this race, he might have lost out a little bit there, because who knows what could happen. I mean, technically, whoever's lined up second in the championship could win it by half a point if they win all of the next races with Thomas out of the points.
Yep, and not much action happening at the moment, guys. A lot of action happened at the first stint. We saw some scraps for P10 as Ghazal actually retires. Is that sector 1, I believe? That's very unfortunate. So that's him out of the race. We have 13 drivers remaining. But yeah, I was just about to say the race has settled down a bit. LK made an incident, or made a mistake at after controlling the race completely. He made a slight mistake, which cost him the lead, and now he's catching Ben. The gap is around 2 seconds. I think he's catching around 2/10 per lap, but the lead is looking very, very tough for LK. So I think what he wants to aim is P2, which is Ben. So look out for that in a couple of laps. Also, just want to mention Rampage is last 27 seconds. I think he might have had some lap 1 contact, and same with Emerald, who's not too far away from Ninjas, currently 7 P11.
Yeah. I was just saying, I mean, it's already about 10 laps to go right now, and LK is, the gap is keeping it around 2.5 seconds as Adam Lee retires. What happened with him? Yeah, it looks like he just can't be bothered and might have just not seen the point there.
Well,
but yeah,
good.
back onto LK.
Fun.
He could effectively catch up drastically if Ben makes a mistake trying to catch John up, but John's already pulling. This is a really good race to watch. It's quite boring at this stint though, because there's not really much actions. Ninja and Exploding Emerald though are fighting it out for the points, as Ninja side by side with him coming towards the spoon curve. Emerald got the inside line through there and is going to keep that position for now, but for how long can he do that?
Yeah, this is a nice battle for P10 only though, but still a nice battle. Let's see, coming into the back straight, Ninjas is in the slipstream, turn 14 that is, now coming into 15. Let's see if it's maybe a late launch. No, he takes much better line than Emerald. Emerald chokes a bit on those medium tires. Let's see, coming into the penultimate lap. There we go. No, not yet, but he's putting Emerald on pressure, making him a slight mistake. Coming into turn 2 now turn 3. Needs to, that 30 is definitely affecting him, but he looks much quicker than Emerald in these quicker corners. I also think he has the fresher tires. Rampage coming into the pits, not an ideal evening for him. But coming into the Degner, doesn't look like he just yet. Emerald goes a bit wide, actually picks up a penalty. It's gonna be a matter of time before Ninjas gets past.
Yeah, K is 1.3 seconds behind Ben and catching drastically. We could see maybe a lead change, not a lead change, a change in position extremely soon.
Oh, we had Tevileo coming into the pits, that's gonna move Bosley up to P4 actually. So not that bad of an evening for those. And Tevileo is actually on the super softs. Wow, that's what I want to see. Medium super soft, what is his strategy? And I'm pretty sure he's gonna be in front of Emerald, which is crucial for him to catch Yeti in P8. So Teleo might be someone to watch out for the last 9 laps of this race.
Yeah, definitely. He's going to be much quicker through these laps. As we're looking at LK, he's really closing in now. I mean, the gap has changed a lot. He's catching up quite a bit through here. Can he take a nice line through 130R? The mistake some people make is going a little bit too wide on exit and getting caught out on those curbs. He's locking up, trying to catch up to Ben through there. I mean, I don't see him catching up to John, but he's probably going to get past Ben, or they're probably going to have some lovely massive battle to entertain us here. What do you think?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I hope that Ben can put out a fight. That would be awesome to watch on the stream, and also for the guys to watch back after the race. But LK is definitely putting Ben under the pressure, under the 1 second window. Let's just see how he maintains the control. Amazing racing craft, and I hope that we see more of his racing this year for the rest of the season. And if he signs up for next season, he might be a title contender with Thomas. I'm not sure if Thomas moves up yet, but still some time to go there. But look at how much LK has gained there. Really looking comfortable on those braking compared on that braking at Ben JP. Now coming into Spoon, just bringing up to the 50-meter board. This is gonna be his opportunity to make a move if he wants to be this lap, but it doesn't look like it's close enough yet.
No, definitely not close enough. He's probably going to have to wait till next lap. He has caught up a lot though, so he's probably got that sitting in his mind, thinking that he knows he's much quicker than Ben. I mean, look how late he breaks through there. We've got a yellow through sector 1 and sector 2. I don't know what that's for. There is a exploding emerald as spam.
Well, that's unfortunate, but I think we need to follow on P3, which is LK right behind Ben. 7 laps to go. It needs to be now. Of course, the dirty air affecting him, but just look how comfortable he is on that F section. I think maybe he's on a better wheel. I'm gonna ask him that in the podium interview. But
yeah, he does look. Yeah. He does look very comfortable through there. No jerky movements. I think he might be running wheel. How smooth it is. I mean, he's really caught up through here, and he's locking up, trying to find a way past Ben. And this is where the fight starts. With 8 laps, well, 7.5 laps to go. This is the fight for second place.
Here we go then, coming into Spoon for the second time, where he's under the 1 second window, and he's a nice exit. Now sweeping on to the long straight. He did all he could, and certainly this would be his chance. Now in the slipstream of Ben. Doesn't look like he's actually pulling away a bit slightly from LK. LK may be running potential higher wings, but look at that braking, gaining so much out of that. But the straight might bite him at the end, because it looks like Ben has the straight line speed advantage.
Yeah, it does look like that. However, through the S section, LK will be catching up massively, and
Dan, you here? Oh, we might have lost Dan. But as we said, that LK has actually made a mistake in P3. That's wow. He saw that on into turn 1, and he now has a 2 second gap to Ben. Oh, that's such a shame. He needs to catch that all again. I think he just overshoot turn 1. Meanwhile, I think you're back. Dan, what are your thoughts?
He hesitated. I know that he hesitated. He didn't know whether he would crash into Ben coming through there, so he went to make a correction change, got caught up on that curb, and which threw him off the circuit. He's lucky not to spin out there.
Wow, okay, there you go, that was the correct view there. Maybe a clever move, rather going a bit wide on the track and losing 2 seconds than actually getting damage and compromising his chance, because you know he has the pace, right? So I think that's a clever call from LK. Also shows that he most likely has got some experience from other or he's got some previous league racing experience, definitely. I can tell when looking at situations like that. That's something I would possibly also do, coming from experienced league racer, so if I say so myself. But the battle for P8 is actually also going on. Leo and Yeti. I was gonna say that Leo might be someone to watch out at the end. But maybe only for P8, as he actually still got damage and hasn't fixed it on the front left M trail. And Nectar's also putting the pressure on Vepicute for P6. Vepicute hasn't got the best of races. He's lost the gap to the gap to Enter Beacon 10 seconds. So not the best evening of racing for Vepicute, who actually had a great P4 last time around Malaysia.
Yeah, doesn't look to be going well for him, as LK is definitely catching up to Ben JP. But there's only about 5 laps to go. I mean, I don't know whether he can do it or whether he have to settle for P3. Look how much she caught up through there.
Yeah, definitely LK. I'm gonna switch to him once he's under the 1 second window, or when he's very close to him. John Sonica gets a penalty, but that probably won't matter because he's absolutely miles away from the others. Definitely a superb drive by the Force India driver. And his debut race as a full-time driver, so he's gonna be in the Force India for the rest of the season, starting tonight and then until the Abu Dhabi. But yeah, the race is shaping up nicely at the end now. Necruz is having a bit of a look to on Vepicute into turn 1, but holds back again. LK is under the 1 second window, so might be making a move very soon. I'm just following Necruz before we head into LK, coming into the sector 1. Necruz definitely has the pace advantage over Vepicute, so it's just about taking advantage. And we actually have a yellow flag on 6-2. I'm gonna, 2-6, and Tele also putting pressure, but I think we need to follow the battle for E2, which is LK and Ben.
Yeah, I was just about to say, John's actually got 2 3-second time penalties. So that might be a bit interesting near the end. If he can catch up 2 seconds, he might be still in for the win.
Yep, and LK just set the fastest lap, so that just tells how much he's wants this P2. Let's actually just check penalties, because I don't think he's gonna make a move into this sector 1. That'd be very rare. LK hasn't got a penalty, and look at those green sectors. He's absolutely pressuring and making all that he can to get this P2, and Ben also make just a superb drive by top 3, I would say, despite the issue from LK, or the mistake he made.
Might go for a move.
Then 1. Here we go into a hairpin, not quite. Ben actually
he might get the switchback though.
But yeah, he gets the switchback, and that's gonna make compromise Ben. He's gonna still defend. Ben doesn't want to lose the position. Now coming into Spoon. Let's see how he does. doesn't get the best of runs, but he still gets he gains a lot of Ben, and it looks like maybe not quite it's gaining, but it's not enough. He needs to gain a lot on the braking into the triangle, and indeed he does.
Yeah,
wow, what an exit!
He has
Here we go
gained
then.
a lot through there, but there are two reasons that I would say that LK set that fastest lap. Number one, he wants the fastest lap just to say, I may not have won, but I did get the fastest lap. Number two, he wants to let Ben know that he's basically saying to Ben, look how quick I am, make a mistake. I'm going to pressure you into a mistake, is what he's trying to do.
But as we just spoke, LK actually just got a penalty. Has Ben got a penalty? Because if not, he hasn't even got a single warning. So I think it's pretty much over. Ben is set for P2, unless something massive happens as a collision, or if Ben makes a mistake. If LK after LK has passed him, so that's a lot of situations that has to happen if LK gets P2.
Yeah, there are quite a few situations that can happen. We have seen quite a few mistakes from drivers that you won't usually see mistakes from. So it's always possible that he could lose the back end and leak out 3 seconds. But by the looks of things, Ben has got P2 secured with him. It's not going to stop LK, because LK doesn't know that he's got a penalty, but Ben has certainly got P2.
Yeah, it looks very, very secure from Ben, and that's actually, I'm pretty sure that's gonna be his best result. He got a really good result at around Belgium, I believe, if I'm right. My memory is good enough.
Yeah,
So
there was contact there.
Oh, so he's gonna continue. Yeah, on.
Just saying there was contact into turn 1 between Ben and LK.
Oh yeah, see, LK actually got damaged because of that. I think that's pretty much game over. Ben is gonna assault this P2 unless he makes a huge mistake. Let's just give you an update on the guys behind. Leo made his way past Yeti, and Necrus made his way past Epicute. So that's pretty much the order sorted. It's not the final one because of penalties and etc. We are possibly gonna see. But let's just talk about John Solniger for the last lap then. How has this race been? How would you describe it yourself?
I would describe this race, for John, I would describe it as being a well-driven race, just staying calm, no high-risk situations. Of course, he got lucky when LK span, but I mean, he nearly got a win in Malaysia, just got pipped to the post by Thomas, but I think this is his time now.
Indeed it is, it definitely is his time. And what a superb drive by the Force India driver. I'm gonna look forward to seeing more race wins in the future from him in this tier, and also for possibly the next round, for round 17. So here comes for the Degness for the last time of the night. I'm just gonna check his lap times because why not? He's got 2 penalties, but I don't think that will matter. He set his fastest lap time at lap 20, and since then he's set consistent 32s. So yeah, LK could have won if it wasn't for that mistake. He fought his best to fight back for P2, and he actually also catch up to Ben, but he possibly risked it a bit too much. Or I wouldn't say he did what he should do. Got a penalty unfortunately, and then clipped some damage afterwards. But yeah, that's gonna be John Solnkjær solving his first victory.
Yeah, John through the final corner, he is happy, and he is celebrating that win, because that win was spectacular. It didn't look like he was going to get it at the start. We thought he might not get it. Ben JP in the end only 2.4 seconds behind him, which is just absolutely brilliant. But such an interesting race as Bosley comes home in P4, and he is happy about that. He is weaving, and he is so happy.
He should
that
be
he has
happy
got that
because
P4.
Bosley is actually P3 in the championship, and it's not by getting podiums or wins, it's by scoring points consistently. And look what he does today. Top 5. He should be very happy about that, because he can actually have a really decent shot at maintaining that P3 for the championship. So yeah, I think he can be very proud of that. As we have the two cars coming through now, and just get to come through the finish line. But just what's your thoughts on drive of the day, Dan? Who has impressed you the most tonight?
LK, I'd say, has impressed me a lot in this race. I mean, the fact it's his debut and he qualified it on pole. But another driver is John, certainly, who's impressed, because I did not expect him to win, but he has. So yeah, we'll see how they feel in the post-race interview.
Indeed, and I'll just go through the order in 2 seconds. 2 seconds. There we go. John Slanke wins the race, followed by Ben, 2.4 seconds away, and then LK sat in P3. Debut race from the reserve, the French reserve driver. Bosley in P4, I think he will be very happy about that. Antibik in P5, Necrus in P6, Babiku in P7, Tilly in P8, Yeti in P9, Ninjas in P10 for his return to SRL, Rampage in P11, Emerald in P12, and then the rest of the guys have retired. So let's just get Ben in.
Do you want me to do LK, or do you want to do LK?
Hello.
Yeah, so you do John Slanke, and then Ben, and then you do LK.
I don't think John's got a mic, so I'll just congratulate him. I mean,
yeah.
Well done, John. That was very well driven. I bet you're happy that you got the win. I didn't actually expect you to win at first, the gap that I had, but yeah. Congratulations. And now on to Ben.
Yeah. Congrats, Ben. That was a very tough race with LK at the end, but also the fight for the lead. I would guess it was a podium positions at the start of the first stint. So just tell us how it was for you personally.
Well, it was quite tough. Japan's very tough track, and yeah, I was behind John. He was just a little bit too quick, so he got away, and then Kay span out, and then he chased me down in the end. But to be fair to him, this track is really hard to overtake on, so he did a pretty good job, to be fair.
Yeah, amazing job. And looking at you three guys at the front, Ben, what's your thoughts on the rest of the season? I would actually say, because you have just been improving race for race. What are your expectations and hopes for the rest of the season?
Well, this is now my 3rd podium in a row, so more podiums, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. I would definitely think that would be possible. I don't know about you, Dan. But let's go to LK.
Yep.
Right, so
Yeah.
LK, you must have been happy with your pole position, obviously.
Of course. That was the result at the end of the race.
Yeah, I fully understand. Quite annoying, of course, with the spin out and then that penalty. But very, very well driven. I mean, how do you feel about this race? How do you feel it?
Actually,
Oh.
I'm feeling quite frustrated because I knew I had the pace. This is the first time I race in SRL, and I don't know many drivers in this league. This is the first time I've raced against John and Ben. I didn't know them until now, and actually, I lost focus when I did my first mistake at turn 9 when I spun out, and I was for P I was going for P2, but I broke my front wing turn 1, and I was over. Actually, that was a frustrating race for me. But I'm happy with the podium.
Yeah, félicitations. Congrats, man.
Merci.
That's that's your first podium and debut as a reserve. I definitely hope that we see you in the future because we were very surprised by your pace. So that's me and Dan for tonight, I guess. Gonna round it out now. We're gonna be back for round 17, same time next week, Thursday, 7 p.m. UK. Otherwise, in terms of round 16 Japan in SRL, there's gonna be plenty of racing action tomorrow for the top tiers. Xbox One F1 with Chukemaster and Roadsters, I believe, 7 p.m. UK tomorrow. And then the PS4 tier right afterwards, 8:30 p.m. UK tomorrow, also with Andy and Ash, I believe. But make sure to follow Supreme Isle on Twitter if you want to have all the latest updates on this race week. Otherwise, my name is Kahmundo, and we'll see you next week with Dan.
Yeah.
See ya.
I will see you. Au revoir, mes amis.
Au revoir.